Welcome back to another episode of Sound Pals Go to the Movies. Today I'll be reviewing the movie Den of Thieves 2, Pantera. So just a fair warning, there's going to be spoilers up ahead, so you've been warned. Big Nick is back on the hunt in Europe and closing in on Donnie, who is embroiled in the treacherous world of diamond thieves and the infamous Pantera Mafia, as they plot a massive heist of the world's largest diamond exchange. So let's begin with my first pro. Donnie gave me an Italian Job from 1969 vibe, where Donnie is more of the sophisticated thief versus Big Nick, who is a rough cop and doesn't look like he showers much. But what really gave me those vibes was the planning of the heist, and when they got to the escape route, the mountain path that they would take to escape. At the end, it really screamed Italian Job ending. There wasn't much of a focus on the car chases, but the heist was there. And also, the character Donnie was similar to the main protagonist of Italian Job, who carried himself well. Next pro, like I said, the action was there, but how they planned the heist from every angle. They even had the element of time that was not on their side. They needed to do everything in intervals due to the camera setup and everything, sort of like a speed run. Each member had his own task, so it was a good thing other than just putting everything on Donnie. So that made it easier to take it in. Next pro, Donnie and Big Nick coming to understand that they aren't that different, but they did take a different route in life. But now they are on the same team. Well, not really, because at the end we see Big Nick turn Donnie's crew in, and it was basically all a ruse to take them in. But later he bailed them out, so that was a little confusing, which is a setup to the next sequel of the franchise. I got a feeling that they will milk this, especially since we got Gerald, Butler, and 50 Cent as producers in the film, so I wouldn't be surprised if they bring in other rappers into it in the next movie. Next pro, I laughed at the subtle jokes to the reference of O'Shea Jackson Jr. being the son of Ice Cube, like when Big Nick says F NATO and F the police, and then we get to see Donnie's surprised look on his face. Also how they reference LA streets, and sometimes they threw in famous streets from the NWA days like Crenshaw, Hawthorne, and other streets. It was sort of a throwback to O'Shea's dad, Ice Cube, and where he grew up. Now let's move on to my cons. The length of the film. It was 2 hours and 20 something minutes. I feel that they could have taken some scenes out and made it about an hour and 45 minutes at least. One scene that pops into my mind right away that did not add anything was when Donnie, Slavko, and Dragon were in the shop and they kept changing the music to different genres. It did not add anything to the movie. No new information was shared, nor it did it move the plot along. It was just there to basically take up time. And there are other scenes that do the same thing. I know that they were trying to make this scene to showing that the group was coming together and there were more friendship bonding, but it actually fell short. If you take that part of the movie out, it wouldn't change the story. Next con, the heist itself. Okay, so where to begin? Well, every time they had to bypass an obstacle, they did it flawlessly because they had the tech or the tools at hand and they had practice. But where is that scene from every heist that they do not foresee a security system or element and they're about to fail till something simple or common saves the day? For Donnie would have been the gelato. So we didn't see Donnie thinking on his feet right away and implementing that element. There was one part where they avoided the cameras and they did it with a tech or a pop-up shield that would basically fool the camera. And I'm going to say it, this is a total rip-off from Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. They made themselves invisible to the cameras by having a reflective screen reflect the image towards the camera, so they become sort of invisible. Also, Donnie talked and focused on the getaway car so much, I thought there would be a bigger car chase scene, but it never happened. We only saw them get in the car and try to escape through the mountain path. But other than that, not much more. Next con, there were too many characters. I'm not talking about Donnie's crew, but how they got the mafia, security of the Diamond District, and cops all involved in the same movie. And it was basically a mess. I thought at one point, Shava, the diamond dealer, was going to bring in more characters and backstab Donnie's crew. If the movie made it so that Donnie originally was doing the heist to get inside the safe to steal a diamond that was already in there, and the mafia was just watching him to see what he was doing, and at the end, they safely take him out of the jail and they offer him a job because he is the Houdini of heist, and that would be a better setup for the next film versus he stole from the mafia without knowing and he needs to get it back, and then afterwards the mafia is impressed that he succeeded, so they bail him out of jail and offer him a job. So what was it, that they really didn't believe that he can do it? Then why send him to get the diamond back? It just didn't make sense to me. And also, what if he would have failed? How would the mafia have gotten the diamond back? Also, Gerard Butler, Big Nick, saying that he needed money and at the end he has nothing. What, did he just want to get even with Donnie? I guess this is the film for people who don't want to look at the logic side and just enjoy a heist that uses tech that they don't explain much, but it looks cool when they're unscrewing the vault off the hinges in order for it not to set off the alarm while they're tampering with the vault itself. So my final grade for this film is going to be a 6 out of 10. I didn't even recall where the last movie left off, so I had to go back and review it just to be on the same page. But then this film felt like it was was a bit of other films mixed together to make a story. It didn't really progress the characters for the next film at all. It took parts from Mission Impossible, the Italian Job from 1969, and I can even say that it took some from the later Fast and the Furious films. You know, the one where it's really not about the cars anymore, it's just about using the new gadgets and the government technology. Well, if you don't really care about the storyline, then this film would be fine to watch at home and not have to follow along just until they do the heist or something really exciting comes along, because some of the parts don't really add anything to the overall film. But stay tuned, because I'm pretty sure the next part is going to be announced soon. So that does it for this review of Den of Thieves 2 Pantera. Please join us next time where we're going to review Flight Risk.
Mayday, mayday. We've been compromised. The pilot's a hitman.
Please like, comment, and subscribe. You can find our social media links below. And like always, keep watching movies.